Oh, is that going to be pretty good? Yeah. There it goes. Yeah. Here it goes. Here you go, Thomas. Here, I get it now. Here it goes. I gave you a spot now. I'm gonna grab my tea. Okay, thank you, Harris. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here's Mimi. Come on. I know. You were looking for your spot. I know. Well, I just made it. Yeah. We'll have to have the fuzzies have a good view now. Okay. There it goes. Oh, it's a little slothy. Very slow. Sorry, Mimi. Okay. We're going to read a little poetry. Or poetry, I suppose. Hopefully, yeah, we're a little bit in view. Y'all are welcome to write comments, and I'll see if I can follow along as we go on my phone. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Saki. And I have not pre-curated any poetry here, but I did make a note of some of the ones I'd read before, like categories of them, so I'm aiming to find an alternate category. Actually warmer up here than I thought it would be. Kind of bundled up a little bit. Does that feel comfortable for you, Saki? Yeah? So I'm gonna try and find the live here so that if there's comments I ought to be able to see them. And I'm gonna look on this iPad for some works. There we go. Yeah, I see the area of comments now, so that's good. Okay, we'll put that right there so I can follow along. Everything okay for you, Mr. Buddy? It's pretty good? Yeah. Where's my list here? I had a list of ones that I had read, which I think perhaps if I just screenshot that list, I can kind of refer to it if need be. My thinking is that I'd rather not reread ones that you've already heard. See if I can give you something new. So it looks like, at least when I did a quick perusal, that I've read 4 different categories, or read from 4 different categories. So my plan here is to pick some other ones. I don't know if I have other categories or not. And this kind of stems from the idea of, what can I offer, right? What else is there, right? We can't meet in person as readily as we used to. People can't afford classes. When we do have classes, they can't be done quite in the same way. And I thought, well, there's always poetry, and I've read a bunch, whether it's sort of philosophical poetry or, Zen poetry or mountain hermit poetry and so forth. And occasionally I read some of mine, which is the plan today. Maybe if all the fuzzies are happy, then we'll do a second live stream here. I can see comments here on my lap if you type anything, and I'm going to just kind of peruse. You want to help, buddy? I'm going to peruse, see if I can see. Imagine, if we ever return to something like our normal pre-COVID world, I read my mornings repeatedly arrive, which I've posted every single day of this lockdown period. I wonder if I should do the what I've learned. What do you think about that? you want to read what I've learned? That could be that could be a good option. There's my kind of newest series I've been working on, the Zafu as Battlefield. Dispatches from Eternity. We read from Old Meditator. We have not read Poetry Ply before. We have First People's Poetry. That could be a nice. That could be a nice series. I'm going to just see about how long of a series it is. If it's, oh, that could work nicely. Let's do that. All right. Yeah, I like that as an idea. So this is First People's Poetry. Okay, we have an answer. So I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of read from the top. I actually think maybe a good idea here for me would be to turn off my Wi-Fi on this in case I sort of mistype as I scroll and delete something or whatever, and then it does that. Oh, nice. Okay, you ready? I'm sure that this is inconvenient for you watching. I can just watch me get ready instead of pre-record something where I'd clip it right till now and I'd start reading. But that's just how we're doing. We had a really nice Tai Chi Chuan practice and Qigong practice outside. Did some farm work. We brewed some tea. And we've come in here. So here we go. The first one is entitled Stone, Sun, Silence. I sit with feldspar elders, perhaps imagining I hear Salishan stories. A red-band trout in the rivers of Spokane. I feel like I mispronounced one of the English words there. This one I didn't write all that long ago too. I was kind of researching Spokane, Washington, and so I'm going to try this again. Stone, sun, silence. I sit with feldspar elders, perhaps imagining I hear Salishan stories of red-band trout in the rivers of Spokane. I sit with gold shaft elders, perhaps imagining I hear all animals assembled as Amaltquan bestows warmth and light. I sit with breezeless, quiet elders, perhaps imagining I hear the songless, the sorrowless, the space of spaceless, the waiting that isn't waiting, the echoless empty that stills us and fills us if we still ourselves. I wonder at their autonyms. Have I not heard? Did I not notice? Do they keep their names from me? Would I not understand? Stone, sun, silence. So I saw two little typos there, kind of copy edit things. So I turn my Wi-Fi on and I can update those. I use Evernote, sort of cloud note app, and it works for me really well generally. I guess I'm not exceedingly happy with their latest update, but generally it allows me to write on whichever device is at hand, and for me that's quite important, as the rate of the rivers of creativity outpaces my memory, and I want to get it down because there's more upstream making its way to my hand and my eyes and my heart. Oh yeah, that's weird. I just read that. So this one is Gaho Kachina, the title. You want to get moving? That's okay. Yeah. Well, the other one had salmon in it, so I'm sure you were into it. But this one is not really about the salmon. Thank you for your visits. The desert has been deserted. The mountain has been fallen. See, I kind of didn't read that one as well as I could. I read it as a full sentence, and it's 2 sentences. So it starts, the desert has been, period. And then the next line is deserted. And I read it poorly. Gaho Kachina. The desert has been deserted. The mountain has been fallen. The medicine has been forgone, forgot, for naught. So this next one is called Ilahi Awinasa Maka. And I actually was inspired to write this one from this license plate that I saw. Ilahi, Illahee, is a Chinukwawa word for earth or country. And I saw this license plate, Ilahi, and I was like, I think I pulled over and wrote this, or maybe I scratched out some thoughts and wrote it afterwards. I don't quite remember, but I remember like where I saw the plate. Ilahi Awenasamaka. The lesson Mama taught me, which Mama never taught me, is to not be angry, to endure your pain, to let be as things be, to not multiply your pain by fletching and loosing blame. Bend the bow into a bow, offer connection, seeing, welcoming. The lesson Mama taught me, which Mama never taught me, was notice, endure the theft of self by other, endure ignorant and ignoring, endure the losings of the way, support it all, support it all. Offer flowers where you can, feed the trees, carry the herd, invite the flock, wait with the stones. One day, one will listen. One day, one will see. Will that one be one being, one culture, one day? One may, one day one. Endure, support, offer, feed, carry, invite, wait. The lesson Mama taught me, wordlessly, unceasingly, inerrantly, which Mama never taught me because Mama doesn't do. Know this, to earn, to see, to receive these, the lessons, is on us. Our active offering to the great receptive. Listen, love, learn. One may, one day, one. One day, no one will have one. One may, one day, one. Listen, love, learn. That's Ilahi Awinasa Maka. These are the words for so we could translate this as earth, my home, earth, in the languages of Chinook, Wawa, Cherokee, and Sioux, respectively. So I notice here at the end of this, I have a little comment about this series. It says, "This offering is from my First People's Pooretry Writings, wherein I intend to open to the medicine, the mind, and the spirit of those who understood this world in sacred, spiritual, and symbiotic ways." This is called Medicine Sky Wheel. A shy becoming moon slips among smudges pink, western sky. The lavender streaks slip in, tide-like, upon such blues. Southern sky. The clotting, smoky smears of cloud drift scatter, lazily. Eastern sky. The frost-worn evergreens hold up the great colorless, but not this spellbound, boundless dawn. Northern sky. I could just kind of see that one. That came to me standing in the fire pit by the sweat lodge, but looking up, where there wasn't ash, there wasn't flame, there wasn't smoke in that moment. Hi, Kelly. I see that you joined. Thank you. I'm going to have a sip of tea and then try another. I don't find myself shifting to writing for First People's poetry, just when I'm in reservation territory or perhaps in a touristy place that's talking about, Indians, this and that, It's really more of a resonance of mind and spirit for me, I think. And so it's this place that's not physical, but I'll shift into this place and, I could just be in downtown Cleveland and then I'm thinking about the early peoples around Taos in New Mexico or something, or people in Saskatoon who I've not learned much of. That's what happened with the Spokane piece that I started with. But anyway, so here we are, Ilahi, Medicine Sky Wheel. This one is called Mother Soil, Father Sky. I bent to ask a bird of the sky. He walked, but never talked. I knelt to ask a snake of the soil. I lifted her up high to hear her reply. It was in my broken asking that I took the truth bearer from the truth. I talked to stones, and surlily sat in their stony silence, unaware that there, in the nothing said there, was the answer I sought. This one I submitted not too long ago, a couple months, I guess. But I haven't heard back, so who knows. It's called We Cannot Know, Wekanut, and then No. We cannot know. Perhaps Seneca, but no. Maybe Taxis? Again, no. Hamanasset, Lakota, Cree, Sioux. I'm calling out, no. I'm crying out to natives such as these, such as those. I walk the ground they knew by name. I follow haltingly in their trail, if not their way. Menunketuk, no Mashantucket, no Pequot, no Misquamicut, no. It's been so long, the hares forgot. The stag cannot recall. The fish, receivers of memories, may yet know, and yet I hear not from them, of them, you. These are not your names, and these were not your names, and these are not the names you were known by, and the names you were known by were not your names. Does the sun recall? No. The sun is the creator of shadow. Does the moon know? No. The moon reflects the false knowing carried by the peoples like so much currency. Do the stars know? We cannot know. They wink as if to say, maybe we do. But do they maybe know? We cannot know. The stars stave off the entire dark, and even in their starry siege they twinkle, which means they dark. And as they dark, the entire dark rules the overall. Yes, even a star-filled night is part way all over black. There is no refuge from the dark, and no dependable harbor from the dark come night. We cannot know. We cannot know. Some say they know. We are told to know. We cannot know. We cannot know. Without a name, why do I cry out? Who do I cry out to as I walk these once known forests? Whose name lofts aloft from these lamenting lips as I plod on bog by bog? The moths, the turtles, the feathered flocks, the river people, the stone people, the field people, the forest kind. I cry silently, directionless, in unknown tongue. I am sorry that we aren't all sorry. So this one is written mentioning a bunch of peoples that lived in the area, and which I now live in this southern New England, I guess. Hi, Marcy. This one is entitled Tellurian, or The Cause of Effect. I'm just going to adjust my seat here. I took it really quickly because the cat was very ready to hop aboard. We'll just try that, and that'll bring our squirrel up into view. There you go, Mimi. Everybody got a spot? There you go. A little slothy. All the lammies, you guys can be here because Saki moved. And Harris, I'm going to help you get your head over here for you. Is that going to be better? Okay. Yes. That's a little bit better. Good. Sip tea, and then we're going to read Tellurian, or The Cause of Effect, which has put one lammy to sleep. There you go. A little better. Okay. Perhaps the butterfly is not to blame. Perhaps the powdery wing beats merely flashed their color dance for whomsoever may have glanced up just then over there, far, far over there. Perhaps this storm is not to blame. Perhaps the water-blown daggers merely lashed their violence for whomsoever may have chanced out just then over here, way, way over here. Perhaps the butterfly is remembering the geometries and paletteries of all the many flowerings and brought them into the bare air as testament, as floating memory. Perhaps the butterfly is not to blame. Perhaps the storm is not caused. Perhaps no thing there is causing everything here. Perhaps the wing beat is simply showing how the world turns, how the spheres collide, combine. This one, I'm not sure. This one, curious. I'm wondering if a few of these don't quite belong in this note, right? Sometimes I'll have a note, a category, and I'm kind of filling it out. And if I wrote it here, I'll cut and paste it and try and organize it a bit. And other times that's kind of my current category I'm working on. And something comes to me and I just start writing, and maybe, as seems to have happened here, I don't notice that it goes somewhere else. Like these next couple don't look like they fit in the First People's poetry. So I'm scrolling. Okay, yeah, well, here's one. Yeah, it looks like I have to reorganize, but I found another that I know goes here. Right? Hi, Donna. This is called Medicine Solace. Medicine, solace. I really like this one. I know the bear, watcher, courage, unpredictability. I know the snake, wisdom of initiation. I know the wolf. I know a pack of them, loyalty, intuition. I know the spider, though I pretend I don't, shadows, communication. I know the owl, or I pretend I do, insight, clairvoyance. I even know the fox. I may be the fox. Cunning, hidden messenger. I know the bobcat, the alligator, patience, revenge, and other far-off beings lost to this space, but not lost on me, not lost to me. I know the bat, secrets, longevity. I know the cougar so well that I call her not by her first name, but the First People's names. I call her catamount, painter, puma. I call her panther, mountain screamer. I call her amigo de onca, foresight, leadership, silence, patience. I know the coyote, the crane, ingenuity and folly, vigilance and independence. I know the heron, the lynx, self-reliance, balance, guardian, listener, guide. And each of these, each medicine, each is prayed for and each preys on, each arrives from some inchoate world, land, sky, beyond all sight, an answered wish, a plea, a demand, and each a predator, one who wrings life from flesh that it might deliver its song, its dance of medicine to one so foolish as me. And yet the hawk I see today, though predator, is the medicine of solitude. Near enough, far enough, alone enough, apart enough. Alone, alone, hawk, arc, lifted, lofted, hawk, medicine, alone among. Then adage few. So I'm scrolling again to see if we a little bit of feel free to type anything in the comments that you'd like to connect with or might help me. I just did a quick little copy edit there. So this is where the viewers would benefit by my proper curatorship. I have a presentation ready, but I was of course rather thinking I like this idea. This is just what I'd be doing by myself, although I'd slip into the work I see needs doing when I see it. So here I'm just trying to... Ooh, yes. Okay. There we got one. I like this one. Yes. This is one I was hoping, and it looks like it's the last one. So I may try looking for some more in a different place. But this looks like the last one. And I'll have to edit some more. This is called The Cave Never Taught Me. The cave never taught me. The Choctaw never taught me what the Choctaw would have taught me. The Australopithecine never taught me what the Australopithecine would have taught me of. The memories, these memories, our memories, are fading songs in an echoless cave. The listeners have tired, moved on. The choir sang, regardless, for a time. And in time the silence overcame the joys of recalling, and the calling out was no longer met with a response. The ochre greened over, the iron dust fell from frost and puddled dryly on the floor. Summer winds, hot and desiccating, soon scoured the walls and ushered out the swirling cinnamon sand. The drums beat to mineral-rich cave dew on occasion, a sometime rain that formed cones. They stretched with weatherings, sometimes taut, sometimes loose. Their stories lost, nothing taught. In time, their skins followed their long-lost bones into the buried, burned, and carved, now broken, empty bones. Home. The silent, tumulting earth. The cold overlay of the singeing beneath. The singing stalled. The echoes bounced for a time from voice to ear, to wall, to child, to wall, to stone, to dust. The stars never taught me what the stars might then have taught me. The dreams and dancings, the tremulous and then credulous tremolos, the inspirations of ululations, the song stories of peoples, of healings, of wilds, of ways, now silent. This silence in this echoless cave is the most wanting, most missing sound I've ever heard. The cave never taught me the music, never taught me the drum, never taught me the dance, never taught me the cave, never taught me. The fire is out, the embers lost. The handprint remains on a wet wall in a dim corner in an out-of-the-way scree field crevasse just past the Cree Field impasse. The teachers are gone, the ancestors silent. The cave never taught me, the silence may yet. I'm just doing a little search for if we have another. Glad you could join. Maybe coming to an end. And maybe if I have the energy, I'll do a different one, different topic maybe. If there's a topic you'd like or a category of poetry. Alright, so I think this one will work. This is titled, Where is the Unity? Where is the unity? We're all named me. There's rich and poor, peaceniks and fighters for. There's believers in and holders too. There's first world and first peoples. There's red, there's black. None of these we's is wrong. None of us right. We're all named me, can't you see? The you, the they, leads us from the good way. Every war begins with you. Every fight begins with they. The end of us begins with verses. It's called Where is the Unity? I don't know if that's a complete one. I think I'll probably revise it a bit, sort of seems like it. But most of my stuff I don't revise in any meaningful way. I kind of copy edit. Maybe change the punctuation a tiny bit, but generally I'll write, just leave it. This is First People's River. This is some of my poetry. Let's see if this is one here. Apparently not. This could work. I don't know if in luck counts, it depends on if you're enjoying it. No, this is just a scrap of a begun poem. So I guess They ought not be reading partials. Sorry about that. Postscription. Yeah, I feel like that's it. So we'll probably leave it there. I've never written anything particularly for the first peoples who lived on this property before me. Maybe that'll be a little bit inspired, but I think we're about done. Maybe I'll read something else. I'll see if there's any comments. Thank you.